Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Logan, the drunken metalhead who muses, and tonight we're just kicking back and doing a contest entry for Matt from the Accusation Network. Not making it too complicated. I'm just sipping on a Corona because guess what? It's the beginning of summer, and I'm like working through a 24 pack of these guys. But Matt at the Accusation Network just hit 5,000 subscribers. Cheers to you, my friend. That's quite impressive. And he's got 6 questions for us to answer in order to enter this contest. I want to enter the contest, first off, support a great channel. Secondly, because it's a contest. But the main reason is because the questions themselves are unique and they're kind of tough. They were not immediate questions for me to answer. I had to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of sifting through my collection and research upon some of the releases to figure out what I wanted to pull. So it was a little more work than the usual contest entry. And I found it extremely entertaining just digging through my collection to find stuff that fit these questions. So cheers to Matt and cool questions, man. And once again, congrats. So first I realized my hair was a mess. I think I fixed it. Alright. First question on Matt's list. He says, show me an album with a guest performer who really brought something great to the music he or she is on. I just pulled for a 1-song guest performer from the latest Integrity full length. This is their album, Howling for the Nightmare Shall Consume. This came off on Relapse back in 2017. And I want to talk about track 9, String Up My Teeth. It's a fucking kick-ass track, but it also features guest vocals from Monique Arkham, who brings a gospel tinge to this, crazy metallic hardcore kind of song. It's intense, and it gets up to this uplifting, like, metallic hardcore chorus with just the tinge of melody in the guitars, and then these angelic vocals just pop in over top from Monique, and it really is just one of the most unique songs in their discography, but also like kind of in the subgenre, if you will. It's just a fun take on this kind of music, and I think it is a great addition to this album, and probably the strongest song on this album, which, for those who don't know, this is Integrity having a lot of fun and kind of doing a lot of different things. It's a kind of an all over the place album where it goes from their classic hardcore sound to almost like doom metal to this gospel inspired music. It just goes where it wants to go, and it just makes it kind of fun. Still a little bit long, but still great integrity. Alright, so for question 2, Matt asks to show him an album from a band's discography where a member is only on that release and then quits, or I don't know, some other shit happens. So let's see. I am kind of doing this for selfish reasons. I am planning on doing a deep dive or discussion / ranking on this band in the near future. Now all I'm going to say is God help me with this, but I want to talk about In Flames' debut album, Lunar Strain. This album features Michael Stan, I hope I said that right, who for this album is a session musician only. He does all the vocals and all the lyrics. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he is the vocalist and lyricist for Dark Tranquillity. And literally him and Anders switched right after this album. So it, it makes us very unique in the In Flames discography. On another side note, it's interesting that everyone who performed on this album is actually no longer in the band. So this is not In Flames, truthfully. Maybe they dodged a bullet. If you want to hear a band that is similar to Lunar Strain, I would check out The Halo Effect. Still, this is a great album and really shows a band that is just starting out their career and really treading new ground. I mean, it was probably extremely exciting for the time, and I mean, I'd say it still holds up. If you want to hear more In Flames talk, tune into this channel. I'll be doing a deeper discussion soon. Alright, on to question 3. Matt asks, show me an album with a track that contains vocals not human. Basically an animal as a guest vocalist, even in the background. So I'm going with probably one of the most jarring openings to an album I can think of. This is Mastodon with their debut album, Remission. And track 1, Crusher Destroyer, opens up with the roar of the Tyrannosaurus Rex from the film Jurassic Park. And it really just sets this album off with just a jolt of energy, and Crusher Destroyer just demolishes after the fact. And this album is easily the heaviest and most brutal in Mastodon's discography, and that opening soundbite of the Tyrannosaur sets it up for success. Alright, from there we're showing off an album with an atypical musical instrument for the genre, so something that's not guitar, bass, drums, or keyboards. Stranger the better. Alright, fine. I'm gonna do my best. I've got an album which I would call progressive sludge metal. This is a fairly underrated band in my opinion, or at least this album is definitely underrated. This is Intronaut with their album Prehistoricism. And I want to highlight a certain performance on the final track, which is titled The Reptilian Brain. And it features the tabla played by one David Timnick, who is one of the guitarists for Intronaut. So the tabla is like an Indian percussive instrument, and it really adds just such a atmospheric, ritualistic kind of feel to this closing 16-minute instrumental, which, if you want to break down the reptilian brain, Intronaut does it. They break it down into 5 parts: sleep, eat, shit, fight, fuck. Thank you, Intronaut. But seriously, more people need to listen to this Intronaut album. To me, it's their best in their discography. If you want a specific song that kind of highlights the intensely rhythmic and percussive nature of their music, as long with how heavy it is, I would choose this song, Any Port. That shit is a classic. Alright, question 5. Show off an album from a band whose members are from different countries. What is known as an international band? The more the merrier. Alright. So this is the debut album from Azusa called Heavy Yoke. And this is a supergroup for sure. And we're representing 3 different distinct countries here. So we went for more. We've got Liam on bass, who's originally from the Dillinger Escape Plan. And he's representing Philadelphia from the United States. We've got David and Christer, who are located in Norway, from the band Extol. And we've got Eleni from Greece. And she's not necessarily from a band that I've heard of, or like a metal band per se, but she is the vocalist on here, and she lets it loose, man. She absolutely shreds. This is actually what we're listening to in the background right now, and what we've been jamming to this whole video. This is a hard to describe album because it's intense. The songs are quite energetic and short, but then at the same time, it has a very progressive feel. It definitely has a Extol meets Dillinger Escape Plan vibe, but then at the same time, the vocal approach is entirely different from either band. It's really more of the instrumentals where every now and then I'll hear like, oh, that sounds like an Extol type of guitar riff or melody break, or oh, that sounds like a Dillinger Escape Plan section. But the vocals themselves are incredibly cool and varied, and this is an incredibly varied album. It's definitely an extreme metal album, but with avant-garde and prog influences. Definitely check out Azusa, and I actually owe the ownership of this album to a fellow YouTuber, Rick from the Dreadful Minutes. I appreciate you for sending this to me, man. Thank you. Alright, so the final question, saving the best, most controversial for last. Matt asks, show off a unusual album in your collection. It can be packaging, a variant, anything interesting. So I definitely wanted to try to highlight interesting packaging. For me, I mean, this is not going to be an underground pick at all. This is going to be frowned upon by certain people. I have to highlight it. No one has more interesting packaging to me than Tool, and this is their most recent album, Fear Inoculum. I was a piece of shit. I went out the day this fucker came out and hunted it down. I went from Target to Target. In fact, I actually met a fellow Tool fan who's trying to track down one of these and had him go pick me up a copy when he went. Like, I went to 2 Targets and struck out, but that dude went to 1 more than I did, and he found a copy for the both of us. So here I am, the proud owner of Tool's latest, most bloated album, Fear Inoculum. And I actually really like this album. I don't really even find it that bloated. But that's neither here nor there. We are talking about the packaging, which, I mean, this is like almost a DVD case. It's got magnets keeping it together. We got a giant booklet here. We got the CD over here. But what's more interesting, there is a movie that plays right in the middle. You got volume controls here. It's just an ambient track. You can pause it. You can play it. And the whole thing comes with its own charger. Free to charge. So you can just watch this little movie for no discernible reason. I don't know. I mean, I guess before you listen to the music, after you listen to the music, trying to show off your friends. I don't know. But it's definitely unique. Not many CDs do I have also come with a literal movie in the packaging. So Tool wins this one. Alright, well, there you go. 6 entertaining questions from Matt at the Accusation Network. Congrats once again for 5,000 subscribers. Look forward to what you do in the future, my friend. Cheers to all who have watched, and drink good beer.